What's up, everybody? Sober day number 796. And today I got a good one for you. Today I want to go over how can you get a DWI while being sober. Well, it is possible. So let's go ahead and check it without wasting any more time. Let's go ahead and check out this video I found. It's a pretty interesting video. And go ahead and set it right up here. Actually, I'll make it full screen for you so you can see it.
You hadn't had anything to drink tonight?
Not tonight, no.
Not tonight? Okay. Well, one of the things that we do is we ask people to blow through this thing, okay?
Caitlin Ebner crossed the line and got pulled over on her way home from work.
Blow real hard and blow until I ask you to stop. Keep going, keep going, keep going. You can stop.
So I will say this. This video I found is actually about a cop who wasn't on the up and up. But this does happen accidentally because a lot of DWIs, if you're not willing to blow, or you do blow and you blow zeros, they can think that you're on something else. So you can still get a DWI or DUI or DWAI or OVI, depending on what your state calls it. And I've seen other videos like that. This isn't a video to bash this cop or this officer. This just explains the best one of how it can get all the way up to the prosecution level and put you in some serious jams and have you spending some money on a lawyer.
No, she wasn't drinking. All tests for alcohol came up empty.
When's the last time you smoked marijuana?
Boom, there it is. So now, the only thing they do on the side of the road with the breathalyzer is check to see if you have alcohol in your system. It doesn't test for marijuana, cocaine, or any of those other drugs. It only tests for your blood alcohol content. So now this officer is saying that he thinks that she's on marijuana.
Oh, I don't do that. I can give you a drug test right now.
You don't smoke marijuana?
I do not.
Okay.
There's no drug test they can do right on the side of the road either.
All right. Well, you're showing me indicators that you have been smoking marijuana, okay?
I didn't realize that you could get arrested for something that you didn't do until it happened to me.
All right, watch your wrist for me. I don't want to pinch
Deal
you.
for marijuana?
No, ma'am, not possession unless I find it in your car. I believe that you're impaired by the marijuana that you've smoked.
See, that is key. It is up to the officer's determination if he feels that you're impaired. And a lot of times, people legitimately are impaired, right? So they could be on marijuana, they could be on cocaine, meth, some other drug like that, which is obviously still illegal to operate your vehicle. But at the same time, you know, who's determined? It's up to the officer's determination. So, like, you know, who's to say? Maybe if this, let's pretend. I'll give you the spoiler right now. This is a video of a bad cop, but let's assume it's a cop honestly thinking that you might be impaired. Maybe because you already have a naturally slurred speech. I've met people who naturally slur their speech. Heck, I do when I'm not focusing on it. Or you naturally have, you know, kind of bloodshot eyes and stuff like that. Those are all indicators that they look for. So, you know, like I said, you can be stone cold sober, not be on anything, but they're looking at other indicators. They only get so much training on it. It's different in every state, and it might be even different in every police department, but there's policies on how well they got to be trained, how often they got to recertify and stuff like that.
Before you felt those handcuffs closing over your wrist, did you understand just how serious this was?
I didn't understand. As soon as I took that breathalyzer, I thought I was going home.
This time you're being taken into custody, okay, for DUI drugs.
The waitress spent the night in jail and had her alcohol server's permit revoked because of the DUI.
So already affecting her income because she had a job that she had a permit for. Boom, pulled.
Arrest. After 4 months, prosecutors dismissed all charges because her blood test came back completely clean.
Now, these are drug tests that she actually had to do independently. So she had to spend money on that just to prove her innocence. Even though in the United States, you're innocent of proving guilty, a lot of times the justice system doesn't work like that. You legit have to prove that you're innocent or take a deal. A lot of people take deals all the time for the fear of going to jail or going to prison because they don't want to deal with the hassle. So they might take a deal because normally they don't break the law. This is clearly something that is way on the extreme out of the ordinary. So therefore, they might take a deal because they know they're not going to really get in trouble. But next thing they know, they're hemmed up on probation or other things, and it just gets worse from there.
Had to spend months and thousands of dollars proving your innocence.
I did.
When's
Thousands
the last
of
time you
dollars.
smoked weed?
I don't smoke weed.
You don't smoke weed?
No, not at all.
The same thing happened to this college student 2 weeks earlier on Good Friday.
Well, I believe you have, okay? I need to borrow your arm real quick, okay? I believe that's
Boring.
why. I believe that's why you were failing to maintain your lane and driving halfway
Wait, hold
on the
on.
ramp when I was behind you.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on, sir.
Give me just 1 second.
Hold on 1
Give me just 1
You're
second.
arresting me.
That's correct.
I didn't understand. I'm like, why are you arresting me? Like, what did I do? He said DUI of a substance. I'm like, what?
You're arresting me because you.
And again, she blew all zeros as well. He is just assuming she is on something else. And that is enough to get you arrested in the United States for DUI, OVIs, and whatever your state calls it.
Think I smoke marijuana?
I believe that you're impaired by cannabis. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I don't smoke weed. Is there a way you can test me right now?
Princess Umbamara was also jailed and fought
way
the
to test right
DUI
now.
drug charges for half of 2016.
So the blood test comes back, they toss the case.
I remember my lawyer trying to talk about a deal.
Trying to take a deal. Your lawyer she might have had a public defender. I think any real attorney wouldn't have done that. But, her lawyer trying to get her to take a deal. Take a deal right now. Let's just end this with a lighter sentence or a slap on the wrist. Like I said, maybe it's probation. Maybe it's counseling, drug counseling. Meanwhile, this person doesn't even smoke weed or marijuana. They were sober that night. But again, do the officers, how he felt, how the officer felt, he felt she was impaired. And again, this is, I'll rephrase this whole investigator thing that we're playing here. I'm not gonna play the whole thing for you, but it is about a cop who's actually kind of doing things not on the up and up. I think most cops don't do that. And I believe most cops are legitimately, if you're sober, but for whatever reason you're getting off indicators, I think most of them realistically actually believe that you're under something, and they can't legally let you go back on the road because it's on them, so they gotta arrest you for it.
I was like, what? I'm not taking a deal. I didn't do anything. I want
Smart.
like my life back. Can you reverse time?
Can you stick your tongue out real big?
Months later, it happened a third time to this Auburn student.
You're giving me indicators that you have consumed marijuana, so you're being placed under arrest for DUI, okay?
The prosecutor filed this dismissal of the student's DUI drug charge 5 months later. Defendant performed well on field sobriety evaluations, and blood and urine were negative. 3 DUI drug arrests, 3 tox screens negative for marijuana.
And I'll stop it there because this is where it goes into the officer who was not on the up and up. And I don't want the video to be about that because there's tons of great cops out there. And, I think sometimes more than likely, a lot of times it's just a mistake. You think that, like I've asked my wife before, hey, did you have drinks today? And she's like, no, I didn't drink today. And legitimately she hadn't. But for whatever reason, I saw an indicator that I thought maybe she had a drink or something like that. I've asked friends, same thing. As y'all know, I'm a DJ. So I've been out at the bar or the clubs and I see somebody, they walk up to me, they say hi. I go, ooh, how many of you already had? They go, I just got here. I haven't had any. You know what I mean? Now I know it's different, what I see versus being pulled over, what a cop may see. But a cop has a legitimate job to do, and that is to, if they feel you're impaired, to take you off the road. And the only way to do that is, in today's day and age, arrest you. The good old boy system is gone. There is no more times where they say, hey, if somebody's willing to come pick you up, I'll let you go, right? It's done. Those times are gone. And boy, thank God. I remember I used to get pulled over and they'd let that happen. And maybe I would have learned my lesson sooner had one of those officers actually give me a DWI when I was younger, but I always got away with it. And so therefore I never really learned. But I think, like I said, most of these instances where people are being arrested while being 100% sober are accidental arrests. I don't think the cops are being deceitful or wanting to lie. I think most of them are trying to really make sure the roads are safe, but it does happen. It does happen. So how do you stop it from happening, or what can you do? Now, they always tell you if you get pulled over and you're being asked to do field sobriety tests, a lawyer will tell you, and by the way, disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer, but they'll tell you, don't do any field sobriety tests, don't blow in the breathalyzer, don't do any of those things, right? It's better to fight in court, which is why this worked out for all three of those people, all three of those individuals, because they went to court and they ended up doing what they had to do. The problem is they already had to spend money. They had to spend a night or two in jail. And you don't get that time back, that time of fear. That fear that you get when you're under the impression that you may go to jail or you may be on probation and you're 100% in the right. You actually didn't do anything wrong. Like in my case, I was wrong. But where you actually didn't do something wrong, like that fear has to be so overwhelming. I know how fearful I was when I actually was wrong. So I can only imagine being 100% innocent and facing these charges. That's what I got for you guys today. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please subscribe, share, hit the like button, and make sure you got your notifications turned on so whenever we put a new video up, you guys get it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this today. I'll see you guys on the next one. 4 days until I hit 800 days sober. We're 4 days away. Can't believe it.